my name is Teresa Ekholm, and welcome to my kitchen. I felt like having a snack today, and I've eaten up most of my my nearly disastrous cheesecake brownie fat bombs that I made over a month ago and had them stuck in my freezer. And just, every once in a while when I'm feeling like I need a snack, I would go, I made them really small. I'd go grab one or two, and that's what I'd have as a snack. So I've come nearly to the end of them, and I still like to have a snack every once in a while, so I thought I'd try something savory. I'm not a huge fan of sweets, although I'll go have something, every once in a while, like I said, and I'm finally coming to the end of that package. So I found a recipe on the internet. That's one of these really cool things about this whole keto diet thing. There's so many people who are doing it, and they're so willing to share what works for them. So I'm going to go part way with this. I'm not going to finish it all because it requires some refrigeration time. And then towards the end of this video, I'm going to open up this cool package I got. So anyway, thanks for coming along with me. So, and if you're doing something, if you're on the keto diet, drop me a line below. Also tell me where you're coming from. Okay, so this is a really easy recipe. There's not a whole lot to show you. But I just thought it would be kind of fun and maybe a little bit of change from my art studio. Although, if you'll stay on a little bit later, I will do something from my art studio a little bit later this afternoon. But I'm going to do it on the Tears of Factor page. And the other fair warning that I will do is that my husband really has been doing all the cooking for, I don't know, most of the 25 years we've been married, and it's been a delight. It's not that I can't cook or don't like to cook, but he liked to do it so much, I decided it was great for him to cook. Which means I feel a little awkward in the kitchen, so, which is why the last time when I made my cheesecake brownie fat bombs, I don't know if I told you about this, but I made this totally ridiculous error with the brownie crust. So I was busy. I had this iPad out there, and I was watching some sales training on the iPad while I had all my ingredients spread out on the counter. And I'm listening to this, and I'm making the crust for the brownies, and it seemed a little dry, so I thought, okay, and I added some more butter. Actually, I think I added an additional egg, which the recipe didn't call for at all, and threw it in the oven. And I'm still listening to my broadcast, my podcast there, and making the cheesecake topping for it. And I go to pull the brownie crust out of the oven, and it's cooling on the stove, and I look over at my counter where I'd assembled all my ingredients, and to my horror, there were 2 sticks of butter that were supposed to have gone into the brownie crust. So that may also contribute to the fact that why it took me so long to actually eat them, because although it tasted okay, it wasn't probably the way it was supposed to have been. They were really dry. So I cut them up into little itty-bitty squares, little bites, and slowly ate them over time. And they were delicious, but they were a little dry, and I felt really, really dumb. And in fact, I called my mom in a panic and went, what am I supposed to do? And she said it would be fine. So anyway, this is 6 ounces of just cream cheese. This is 6 ounces of a shredded, it actually called for shredded cheddar, but I happen to have some Mexican-style blend in the freezer. So measured out 6 ounces, by the way, is the same thing as 3/4 of a cup. So, and then it just says blend them together along with some spices. It asked for 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm going to do a little bit less of that simply because I'm going to add some curry powder too, which is not in the recipe. I'm ad-libbing. So what's new? Kind of like my art studio. Just because I'm supposed to do something doesn't mean that I will. What's the fun of that? So let me put the thing back on. Oh, and then it does call for, actually calls for half a teaspoon of the dill weed. So, oh wow, that smells great. These are going to be really fun. And in any case, like I said, this recipe is so simple, so it'll be hard for even me to mess it up. And throw in a little bit of curry powder, even though it didn't call for any. And then you mix it all up and you put it in the refrigerator for 8 minutes. Actually, you put it in the freezer, sorry, for about 8 minutes. Just to kind of get it to firm up a little bit. And then when you pull it out of the freezer, you roll them into good-sized balls, and roll them in a pecan. I already chopped them. The chopped pecan and parsley mixture. I didn't have parsley, so I just used some lettuce and mixed it all up in there. So I think it's all going to taste really fine. It's in this case, this is one of those things where you can't go wrong if you are using all ingredients of things that you like. And I do like all of those things. Of course, the key for any cooking is to make sure you have them in the right proportions so that they come out great. But it really, these are called savory keto fat bombs, and it should be pretty close to the right proportions of fat and protein. And I'm not even sure there's going to be that much of net carbs in this. I must admit that a lot of people who are doing this keto challenge with me are way, way, way more specific, and they have these special apps for tracking all of their macros, so that you stay with your 75% fat, 20% protein, and 5% net carbs, and that's really great. That's not my style, so I am not being that strict with it. However, I will let you know that I'm doing great. I'm now below 124, believe it or not. Oh gosh, you should. Oh well, I was going to show you my shorts, but these shorts got to be so big that I had to go dig this belt out of the drawer so that I could actually wear them because they've gotten to where they're practically falling off, which I suppose is a good thing, except that I don't have any other shorts right now. So that does make for an interesting challenge. So it's a good thing we're coming into fall here, and we'll be switching into more fall type clothes. So speaking of clothing, just a quick shout out. I'm going to be at the Vibes Stadium. For those who've lived here in the Springs for a long time, it used to be the SkySock Stadium. Friday night, it's military family movie night. I will have some of my clothes on hand that I have had in my store. These were ordered online, but they either arrived and they didn't fit people well, or I had ordered extras, or in the case of one dress, I'd ordered my customer one item and she'd actually wanted something completely different. So anyway, that being said, I'll have some of those, and some cell phone cases, and a whole bunch of beautiful scarves. So if you're one of those lucky military families who has signed up to be there, military family movie night over at Vibes tomorrow night, stop by and see me. I will also have there some watercolor crystal, just a little sort of make and take for the kids to play with and take home with them. Actually, they can take it into the movie with them. It won't cause any mess or fuss. Anyway, this now goes into the, see, this is really easy, right? This now goes into the refrigerator for 8 minutes, and just one sec. When I take it out of the refrigerator, I'm going to form them into little balls and actually wrap them individually and store them in the refrigerator. So whenever I feel like having a snack, voila, there they are. So, hello, Mark. Hey, happy to see you. As well as Maria, Javiera de Soto, and Patsy Buckwald. Hello, Patsy's in the house. And Tyrone Russell, Peggy Barber. Hi, Peggy. And oh, she likes fat bombs too. Well, I don't know if you've done the savory ones, Peggy, but I'll let you know how these go. So when I turn them into balls, by the way, I'll be rolling them into this chopped pecan mixture. So, and then lastly, before I get off camera, I got something in the mail. This is really cool. Check this out. I know, this is what you were all waiting for. Who cares about fat bombs, right? So this is from Casey Eberhart. He is my friend and mentor, who, by the way, is going to be here in Colorado Springs August 24 and 25 to teach Networking Riches. And if you have not attended that event, and if you want to really, really profit and do well from on any networking event that you ever attend, you will want to be part of this class. It's a full 2-day class. If you come in person, he buys you lunch. It's $47. I mean, are you kidding? For 2 full days? And if for any reason, well, not for any reason. Number one, it'll be live streamed if you can't be there in person. But of course, you want to be there in person. But if you can't, it's live streamed. And if you are there for the live stream or there in person, you will have access to the videos later. The whole thing gets video recorded. He has this really cool system where you can mark wherever you're at. So when you're taking notes, you'll know where a certain thing was said and that kind of thing. It's a totally amazing class, and you just have to be there. I'm going to be there. Would love to see you there. It's only $47. Drop me a private message and I will send you the link where you can register. Totally amazing. And then, well, I have no idea what this is. Let's check this out. If I don't kill myself with the scissors first. Of course I won't. There we go. Well, you know. Bubble wrap! Oh, sorry. Well, you know, when you're an artist, you can do really fun things with the bubble wrap. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Check this out. Besides making popping noises, you can really do fun things in terms of art. So, I have been mugged. What does that mean? Oh. This is one of those great secrets you get to learn. Is about being, well, mugged and how to follow up with people. And, wow. I'm sure this is really easy. You know, for being an artist, I have very little understanding of 3D space and volume and that kind of thing. But maybe that's what makes me kind of a fun artist. So check this out. It says, oh, this is really cool. Thank you, Casey. It says, "You make a difference." Teresa Ekholm. And look at all the bright, beautiful colors. I mean, this is really cool. Yes, of course I love colors, being an artist and everything. So anyway, thanks for being online with me. I'm so happy that you were able to be on and check this out with me. It's been really fun. What I will do is, I'm not going to stand here for 8 minutes and jabber on. I will post pictures of my keto fat bombs, and if you'd like to have more of the recipe or other recipes that are similar, if you're on the keto diet or you want to know more about it, drop me a line and be glad to share it with you. So this is Teresa Ekholm. Thanks for joining me, and have a fabulous day, and go make a really fabulous day for someone else. Ciao.